Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, October 30. The outbreak of COVID-19 cases at the Golden Age home in Vineyard Town has been brought under control. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the contagion has been lowered in terms of the risk and the threat of the virus at the facility. Following 3 days of testing the 620 residents and staff, positive results were returned for 65 residents and 22 employees.
All the positive cases remain stable, and that's good, and asymptomatic, except for the first case, who unfortunately has since died. The deceased is a 73-year-old male.
Dr. Tufton was speaking at a virtual press conference on Wednesday. As government moved quickly to cauterize the situation at the state-owned facility, the minister says a meeting was convened with the management team and cleaning service provider to outline necessary corrective measures. He says training of the staff and service provider commenced on October 26. Daily visits by medical officers will continue as the health team ensures that the positive cases are isolated appropriately and closely monitored.
We will continue to do work at the Golden Age home. It's the largest such facility in the Caribbean, and there is need to ensure that the protocols are observed.
Preliminary data has revealed extensive damage to agriculture crops and farm roads from heavy rains associated with Tropical Storm Zeta. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says extension officers are in the field gathering data, and the Agriculture Minister is to submit a report to Cabinet on Monday. Following this, the Prime Minister says a recovery plan for the sector will be brought to Parliament on November 3.
I would not at this point be able to say what will be the response, except to say that there will be a response. The Minister of Agriculture, as I've said before, all the ministers who have a line responsibility towards the response to this recovery effort from these heavy rains will have to come up with a program.
Meanwhile, funding is to be allocated in the next financial year to carry out drainage work on Marcus Garvey Drive in Kingston. The thoroughfare continues to flood during heavy rains, with recent occurrence during Tropical Storm Zeta. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says a study done by SIA Engineering Company estimates the project cost at $1.2 billion.
We will try to program this in our next year's budget, because we realize that this is critical. And the flooding that you are seeing, it's not just impacting the Marcus Garvey Drive, but all the roads that lead onto it, which would include the Hagley Park Road and the roads leading onto that.
He adds that a national drainage study supported by the Inter-American Development Bank indicates that a main drain is needed to channel water from the Tinson-Pen, Marcus Garvey Drive areas into the sea.
It would play a similar role and function as the Sandy Gully does, taking water from the hills of St. Andrew and taking it through the member from Western St. Andrew and through my constituency as well. Yes, that was built over 50 years ago. And we haven't built a drain of similar proportions since.
Program of Advancement through Health and Education PATH students at Woodhall All-Age, Rock River All-Age, and Moko Primary are the latest recipients of tablets from the government. The devices were procured through a partnership between the Ministry of Education and eLearning Jamaica and handed over yesterday. Woodhall All-Age received 64 tablets, Rock River Primary 21, and Moko Primary got 84. Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, Robert Morgan, says internet service will be provided to the users of the devices courtesy of Ready TV. He adds that these schools are among the first in Clarendon to benefit from Ready TV's satellite internet solution.
What that means is that with this internet solution, there's a little bit more equity in relation to our educational institutions and those outside in more urban areas. It means that eventually, if our plans come to fruition, that internet service will benefit the community as a whole, not just the students at the institution.
In order to bridge the digital divide experienced by some students across Jamaica, 40,000 tablets will be distributed to 500 primary schools by the end of November. Ground was broken for a creative industries mall at the Shops at Rose Hall in St. James yesterday. The existing complex in Montego Bay is to be rebranded as a Linkages Center of Excellence that will showcase the best of Jamaica's artisans. It is being developed by private entity Shandyram Limited in partnership with the government. asserting that the industry needs innovation and the development of concepts that truly represent the authentic Jamaican experience. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says shopping is a huge part of the island's attraction, but it remains underutilized. Jamaica's tourism is being built on a linkages concept that embraces the pillars of agriculture and manufacturing, gastronomy, sports and entertainment, health and wellness, shopping, and knowledge. The new shopping experience is being developed in phases, with the first phase set for completion in the 2020-21 financial year. And finally, the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, HFJ, is providing incentives for organizations that enroll employees to be trained in cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, and first aid. Senior Manager of Marketing and Business Development at the HFJ, Nola Philpotts-Brown, says the thrust is to get as many persons as possible trained in the life-saving procedure.
We've been encouraging persons to sign up to have their staff be trained in CPR and first aid. Now, if they train, then we would provide medical services to those persons who are in the training session. So we would be providing 20 persons with free blood pressure and blood sugar checks.
She says the Heart Foundation offers CPR training for various categories of persons, including ordinary citizens and personnel in the medical profession. The HFJ will culminate CPR Week on Saturday, October 31, with a Family and Friends CPR course in-house at its Beechwood Avenue offices from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.